The gaming news has been flowing like milk and honey this week. E3 season is alive and well, and we've got a lot of different stuff to talk about. I'm almost getting a bit behind with all of the leaks coming out, with all of the new game announcements prior to E3. So in today's video, there are 4 topics I want to cover. Yes, 4 topics. So there's going to be a lot of stuff. I want to talk about Animal Crossing and this potential delay that has a lot of people worried. A light gun accessory that is available on your HD television for your retro games. A new exclusive Xbox One IP that has people a bit upset, and of course talk about a new game coming to us from THQ Nordic. So what is going on? What has me excited? What has me a bit worried? That's what we're going to talk about. So sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about all this crazy gaming news.
Hey, RGT85. Hey, Sean.
Oh my god, it's Stevie Richards! So let's kick things off by talking about Ninja Theory's new Xbox One exclusive game that is going to be unveiled at E3. And a lot of people are fans of Ninja Theory, and it's a company that honestly I wasn't too invested in until I actually played Hellblade, and I was like, holy crap, these dudes are good. Like, Hellblade was an amazing game to play. It told a really great story. I thought the storytelling in it and the atmosphere that they really crafted in this game was just absolutely top notch. It was a fantastic experience. The combat was really fun, and it was just an absolutely gorgeous looking game. So when Ninja Theory was acquired by Microsoft, a lot of people were hoping that with a bigger budget and a bigger team and probably more resources and assets to be able to use, that they would be able to make something spectacular. Well, Ninja Theory's new game is going to be at E3 2019, and a video actually leaked today about this game. Now, I'm not going to be able to show the video because I'm sure that'll be copyright claim, but I will show screenshots from the video. It is an off-camera look at the game. But the game is called Bleeding Edge, and well, a lot of people are not too happy with this game. It looks kind of like that game Anarchy Reigns. You remember Anarchy Reigns? No, not a lot of people do. It's sort of a 4-on-4 online multiplayer game set in a dystopian future, and you can customize your character. It definitely has a strong emphasis on online, and this is what Ninja Theory is working on. Like, Ninja Theory is a company that a lot of people expected to make a deep single-player experience for the Xbox One in an exclusive format, something that, let's be honest, the Xbox One doesn't have too much of when it comes to exclusives. So a lot of people were hoping that a big game from Ninja Theory would sort of fill that void for Xbox One owners, but it seems like what their game is going to be is just yet another online game for the Xbox One. Now, the Xbox One already has a lot of online games. You have Sea of Thieves coming to us from Rare. You, of course, have State of Decay 2. So this is kind of just another game on the pile. Now, I'm not going to write this game off. It could end up being really fun. Obviously, this is probably some early footage of the game. It looks like there's going to be a beta program that you can also participate in as well. And it seems like it's going to be a 2019 release if they're already betaing this game. But I just think people are going to be a bit disappointed by this game because it's not essentially what they wanted to see from Ninja Theory. So let me know in the comments section down below what you think of this game and if you're interested in it. Or were you expecting something more along the lines of a single player experience coming to us from Ninja Theory? Next off, let's talk about what's going on with the Polymega, because honestly, I haven't talked about the Polymega all that much on this channel, even though people have wanted me to, because I just didn't quite understand it at first. But now that things have been coming out, now that we've seen a lot of information about this system, I think this system is going to be absolutely awesome. Essentially what it is it's an all-in-one solution for your retro games. Stuff from the NES to the 32X to the Sega Saturn, the PS1. This system will be able to play all of your games, all of your physical media on this system via different modules, and it'll be able to play on your HD television. They've showed a lot of gameplay footage of certain games running on the system, and I thought it looked absolutely great. Now, there was some scrutiny and of course some questions about emulators being used, but even the most hardcore people that were against this system have since been quelled by their fears of this system and what could potentially go wrong with it by getting hands-on experiences of it or by actually talking to the team. So Polymega has really done a 180 in the eyes of a lot of gamers. But one thing that was going to be very interesting was light gun games. You gotta remember, light gun games were absolutely huge on things like the Sega Saturn and the PlayStation 1. You had awesome series like Time Crisis and Point Blank. Of course, you had House of the Dead and Virtua Cop on the Sega Saturn. Well, now Polymega has said there's going to be a light gun accessory for this system, and it plays on your HD television, and you don't need any sensors or anything. It's just a gun that works. And of course, I'm not a technological nerd. I don't know a lot of specs and retro mumbo jumbo when it comes to technicalities, but they say this is going to work. Now, it's not the most attractive looking light gun in the world, but I don't care. Being able to play games like House of the Dead, Virtual Cop, and Time Crisis on your HD television by simply using this gun that you can acquire with the Polymega is absolutely awesome in my my opinion. I think the Polymega is going to be a very surprising system for a lot of people. A lot of people were a bit disappointed by things like the Retron 5 and the Retro Freak, but I think the Polymega is actually the evolution of those things, and I think it's going to be something very impressive. It's definitely something that I have my eye on. Pre-orders are not available for the Polymega as well, so I don't know, I might have to go ahead and bite the bullet on this and just get all of the ones that come with all the different modules, because for someone who has physical media of retro games, I think this is something that will be very appealing to me. Next up, THQ Nordic has revealed 3 games over the past 3 days that are coming to a multitude of systems. The first game is SpongeBob, a SpongeBob remake, and people wanted me to talk about this game. Look, I didn't play SpongeBob games back in the day. I was a bit too old for that. I was doing hoodlum stuff during that time frame. So SpongeBob, means nothing to me, but I see a lot of people are excited. So yes, SpongeBob is coming out on the Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and Steam. Enjoy it. The second game is, of course, the Darksiders game that we talked about a few days ago on the channel as potentially being leaked for the Nintendo Switch, and it is Darksiders Genesis. Now, this is a spin-off of this series, and it looks more like a top-down Diablo style game, so sort of a different style of Darksiders, but I think it's something that could potentially work, and it's something very cool looking. And then today, we got another announcement of a Destroy All Humans remake coming to the PS4, Xbox One, and Steam in 2020. Now, Destroy All Humans was a fantastic game. I absolutely love Destroy All Humans. I thought it was so much fun back in the day. It was pretty much like the movie Mars Attacks in video game format, so it was definitely a big hit in my opinion. Now, of course, there was a remaster released on the PS4 and Xbox One and Steam that just improved the graphics, but this is actually going to be a remake as far as the game is concerned, building it from the ground up. So I think that's very cool. It looks like it's going to be a budget price game. This and SpongeBob are only going to be $30 price point games, so I think that's another big positive in my opinion, but I'm definitely a bit disappointed. I would have liked to have seen Time Splitters come back to us from THQ Nordic. THQ Nordic does own the Time Splitters license. Of course, E3 is around the corner. They might show it off there, but I think these games are pretty cool stuff. A lot of people are fans of SpongeBob, so for the SpongeBob people, you got your game. Praise God, we've got SpongeBob. The Darksiders game looks pretty interesting, and I'm definitely stoked for Destroy All Humans. Finally, a lot of people are getting worried that Animal Crossing for the Nintendo Switch is no longer a 2019 game. Now, of course, we have nothing to go on, but a single graphic as to why people are starting to get this notion. So I basically just want to talk about it and give my 2 cents on it. So of course, with E3 coming up, Nintendo has been talking about their E3 presentation, and they put up a graphic the other day showing off some playable titles for the Nintendo Switch that are going to be at their E3. The playable titles include Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, which of course we had a direct of the other day. The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, a game that I know I am very excited for. Luigi's Mansion 3, which of course is a game that many are hoping will be a 2019 release, and Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order, which is a July release, and of course it says and more. And then there's a live stream schedule with the Tuesday Nintendo Direct at 9 a.m. with the Treehouse Live to follow. Then there's Treehouse stuff on Wednesday, and there's Treehouse stuff on Thursday. So what's wrong with this graphic? We were getting some big games on here. Luigi's Mansion 3. You've got, of course, Marvel 3, Ultimate Alliance 3. What's the problem? There's no Animal Crossing on it. So now a lot of people are worried that Animal Crossing could be potentially delayed, or might even be ending up skipping E3 in general. Honestly, I think that's silly. It's not skipping E3 because this is a game that Nintendo is going to want to talk about. Animal Crossing is a huge franchise. Now, do I think it could potentially be delayed and maybe it's not a 2019 game? I think maybe. I'm definitely not going to sit here and say that it is going to be delayed, but a game the size of Animal Crossing and the scale of Animal Crossing is obviously going to be a big game for the Nintendo Switch. There's a lot of different things that you need to put in here if you're not going to do just something simple like you did on the 3DS or something like you did on the Wii. I feel like Animal Crossing needs to have a proper evolution, and the fact that we haven't seen any gameplay from this game, it could end up being a 2020 release date. I definitely think it will be on the E3 floor. I definitely think you'll see it there, but maybe you won't be able to play it. But is that necessarily a bad thing? You also have to remember, do you really want to go to E3 and play a game like Animal Crossing? Can you really accomplish much in the few minutes that you have on the E3 show floor playing Animal Crossing? So maybe it is still a 2019 game. Maybe they're just not having a demo playable there because it's not really a game that you want to experience at an E3-like event. You got to remember, Astral Chain isn't on this list either, and that's a game that's coming out in August 2019, and tons of people are wanting to see that. I feel like that's part of the and more section. Is it kind of curious that Nintendo isn't promoting Animal Crossing on this graphic? I definitely think so, but to say that it's definitely delayed or that it's going to skip E3, It's just nonsense in my opinion. Is there a chance it could be a 2020 game? Sure. Is it going to skip E3? No. Come on, let's be real here, folks. Alright, so that is the latest and greatest in gaming news that caught my interest that I wanted to talk about. So let me know in the comments section down below. What do you think of Ninja Theory's new game? Are you disappointed that it is not a single player, story-driven game? What do you think of this light gun coming to us from the Polymega? Do you think it looks dope? And are you excited to play House of the Dead on your Sega Saturn on your HD television with said light gun? Because, well, I know I am. And of course, what do you think of THQ bringing back Destroy All Humans and SpongeBob, which I don't know anything about SpongeBob. And then finally, is Animal Crossing delayed? Is it going to be at E3? What do you think? And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Check out other videos on the channel. There's going to be tons of E3 coverage starting on Saturday, so get ready. There's going to be a ton of different videos. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.